cars and overtakes. Unbelievable manoeuvre from Seppel. Sideswipe galore at the front. Oh, what's going to happen here? The back. Looks like Mr. Brisket and Don T are both making early. Oh, no! He's going for it. Where's he going to appear? Anyway, as the community. Ooh. No! Yeah, it always turns to shambles. But our special talking to shambles. Oh my days! And that look, I'm gonna call this early doors. That looked like a takeout. Oh no! Spoon! Oh no! No! This ain't a ball, please. Oh! 123.9. Oh no, there's a late winner! He's that! Well, Spoony out of nowhere! Six of that, they wanted to oh, what a rubbish track we joined that was! What a move! Is he going to make it stick though? Tough corner to make it stick on. Is he going to go round the outside? Unbelievable! Oh! Wow, wow, wow.
Fantastic move.
The most dynamic commentary duo on Twitch.
The fastest growing racing community on Discord.
Welcome to the NoobGamerz.
Oh, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Noob Gamers TV event. That's right, we're here back again for your Monday night entertainment. And as the UK sets out its roadmap to get out of coronavirus, our drivers tonight will be taking a very different sort of road. The road to victory, as we'll be naming one of our drivers tonight our overall champion of our very first ACC season. And what a sight we've got in store for you this evening. Welcome everybody, and welcome to the person who'll be along by my side taking you through every trial and tribulation this evening, and his name is Jamie. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening, Ryan. The big man's back. We're back to ride, and we're about to finish. We're about to bring home our first ever NoobGamerz ACC season, Ryan, and it couldn't be tighter at the top.
Exactly. It is very, very close at the top of this championship, and we'll go into all the point differences later on, I'm sure, before the race kicks off. But all you need to know at home is there's only one place to remain for your Monday night's entertainment. Just stick with us right goddamn here, because we're going to bring you all of the action tonight. And as we said, we're going to be crowning our very first ACC champion. Jamie, how about that?
I know, it's unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable. I don't know if you're planning on going through the leaderboard, so I won't spoil it just in case, but there is a single point between the top two in this championship as we go into the final race, Ryan, which is so exciting.
So exciting indeed. Yeah, it is very close at the top, and someone will be the one to take it. But all we know is we're going to have a great old night with the Noob Gamers. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us here live in the Noob Gamers studios. Let's leave this dingy disco and get down to the bright lights of trackside and take you through another Monday night's entertainment. Because ladies and gentlemen, there's only one goddamn place to be, and that's right here on Noob Gamers TV. Let's do this. Oh, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, boom. 7 minutes left of qualification, Jamie. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, no?
I hope so. I mean, I'm on with Revox right now, Ryan. Hot tip straight into it. He's 7/10 up on this lap, currently 5th place. He's going to be gaining some serious places. Might go second here, and he does go second, Ryan, which is a great lap time. However, he's still 1.1 seconds off Abhishek Jha, who is just absolutely electric, Ryan. But despite that, he sits 28th in the overall championship standings, despite winning a race and having the pace of, you know, the gods, effectively.
Mad.
Luck has not fallen this way this season.
No, it certainly hasn't. But I'm sure we're still in for a great old race nonetheless. But yeah, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. The very first race of... The very first race of the week. Yeah, why not? Yeah. The very first race of the week.
All right.
But it is the final race of this championship tonight. And Jamie, you started off the night in style by subscribing for 27 months. What an incredible way to spend 27 months of your life.
I mean, when you put it in that sort of context, it sounds actually pretty terrible. But yeah, okay. Thanks, mate. You sort of put a downer on that for me there, but don't worry about it. Let's get into it, mate. Have you got the leaderboard there, or do you want me to take us through it?
Of course, I've got the leaderboard there, Jamie. But you can, you can do whatever you need to do. You go for it, my friend.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, so we've got Daniel Holmer and Gavin Baker, last week's winner, Gavin Baker. First and second in the championship, Ryan. Going into the final race, Daniel Holmer, 125 points. Gavin Baker, 124 points. I mean, that, Ryan, is absolutely fantastic. And then we've got Daniel Blomqvist in third, only a few points behind, 115. Dom Joy, 112. Revox, 106. And then, you know, it's actually very close down the pack from them. But in terms of, you know, thinking about who might win the overall championship, Ryan, you'd have to say those 5. They're all in with a shout. I mean, let's watch out. The Holmer-Baker battle, Ryan, is absolutely fantastic. Daniel Holmer, don't know about you, feels like he's gone a little bit under the radar this season for me, Ryan. But he's clocked up serious points. Not won a race, but had a second, I think, last week, and maybe a 4th. But he's ended up just consistency. He's pulled a Shipston effectively, and he's leading this title.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's raced very well this whole season. It has to be said, is, you know, sort of came from nowhere at the start. You know, like obviously Daniel Blomqvist blew us all away week 1, but yeah, Daniel Holmer, he's had a great old race with us so far, and I'm sure tonight he's going to have another attack on the leaderboard. Tyler Mullins, Jamie, another one who's sort of, you know, grown as the championship's gone on, currently sat in second place on qualification. So, you know, lots of people. It's obviously the first season. We're learning a lot about the drivers, and I'm sure over the next few weeks and months as we get to watch them more, you know, I guess we're going to get a better feel for their qualities.
Absolutely. I mean, the grids have been huge. We had at least 40 drivers in every single race of this championship. Jason O'Plays is here tonight, right? He's here to support Fliberty Gibbert. Just a quick update for him. Fliberty Gibbert's currently sat in 20th, and he's just absolutely binned out on track.
I just seen that.
But he literally sat exactly mid-pack, Ryan. Good. So not too bad for the old Gibbert there.
No, not too bad at all. And I say he's had a very mixed championship so far, I think it's fair to say, Jamie.
Yeah, let's just see if I can dig him out on the leaderboard. He's currently sat 34th in the championship overall. Had a very strong week 1, 32 points scored, 12 points week 2, and then nothing last week. Ryan, a fair few people not finishing last week, actually. Yeah. Despite, again, a huge grid starting. But yeah, so Flipper to be probably pretty pleased if he can stay around that 20th mark, right?
I think so. I think out of a grid of 40, you know, you can't really complain too much. I think you've got to take 20, really, haven't you? So, you know, not too bad at all, to be fair.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. So, second place championship contender Gavin Baker, currently 7th place. Daniel Holmer, his rival, 1 point ahead of him, of course, 4th place. Baker on a really good time, though, 3/10 up this lap. He's going to maybe pip in just ahead of Holmer, maybe sneak him into 3rd place. So, might be worth popping on board with him, right? Because he's just coming to the last section now of this wonderful Monza track, Ryan. Monza, a track that featured, I think, in the first ever Noob season.
I think it did, yeah. Great knowledge, that, to be fair. Good looking track here tonight for this final race. And just 2 minutes left of qualification here this evening. It's Abuzekjar who does lead the way. As Jamie says, Gavin Baker, though, is significantly up on his best lap time at the moment in 8th place. So he'll be looking to get himself up there. It's going to be very close, Jamie.
No, it's a good lap. I mean, he's a long way off Abuzekjar, but he does take that 3rd place. So he's put himself crucially 2 places above D. Holman. Now, D. Holman's the one he's going to be watching. Of course, there's only 1 point between positions, finishing positions in the race. So what he needs to do is he needs to finish 2 places ahead of Holmer to win that title, Ryan.
Yep.
And at the moment, in qualifying only, of course, he's doing what he needs to do.
Indeed he does, yeah. Indeed he does. The only downside for Abuzekjar fans, Jamie, is he sometimes does struggle just to complete the race, doesn't he? Which is a downside of his racing at the moment.
Well, I think he had a disconnection issue last week, if I remember rightly, and he obviously won week 2 in style. Week 1, he had a couple of issues, and I think he maybe was in a few incidents, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yes, issues for sure. I mean, Tyler Mullen's the closest guy, Ryan, and he's just within a second. I mean, such is a lap 1:47.1 from Charlotte.
He's certainly, smashing it at the top of the leaderboard tonight, to be fair to him. So yeah, lots of people. And other people up on times though. Tom Revox is there as well. Having a good championship again. He's up there. We just popped the times on so people can see the differences. I mean, Abuzekjar is smashing it at the moment. But yeah,
It's
look
ridiculous.
at this. Look at all these different options we've got here. Look, yeah, over a second apart from Tyler Mullins, Jamie. I mean, that is
Well,
insane,
and that's
isn't
pretty much a second as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But look how close it is after that. Mullins, Baker, Revox, those 3 all within a 10th, basically, Ryan. Absolutely fantastic scenes out there. So I'm looking forward to this race. Well, I think we're going to get a great race, on its own merit, and I think we're going to also get an exciting championship conclusione. Where's Daniel Blomqvist, Ryan? How's he sitting tonight?
He was doing okay. He's been knocked down a few
9th.
places now. He's gone down to 10th now. He was up
Okay.
there sort of 4th and 5th earlier on, but I think that was just early pace, and people now have caught up with him and have started to put some good times down. Tom Shipston's back, Jamie, in 7th place. An interesting one, though,
Yes.
James Buckley, who we don't
Yeah.
normally see as high as he is at the moment, into 6th place. So he's had a great race so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing very well. I mean, Shipston's a fascinating one. I'm glad you mentioned him, Ryan, because of course he wasn't able to make last week's race. But in race 1, he scored 44 points, 3rd place. Race 2, 44 points, 3rd place. I feel like if he'd been here last week, Ryan, it would be Tom Shipston's name at the top of this leaderboard we'd be talking about, potentially about to win this championship right now. But of course, because he wasn't here last week, he scored a big fat 0 points. So good to see him back.
Yeah.
But his missing week for I can't imagine what he possibly could have had to do that was more important than this, Ryan. But he's found something, and it's cost him this title potentially.
Exactly, yeah. Last minute moves at the top though. Tom Revox up to 2nd place with Gavin Baker up to 3rd. So both of them jumping ahead of Tyler Mullins at the death, Jamie. Although Abuzekjar does go quicker with his lap time as well, if that's even possible, and it certainly is.
Why not?
He was over a second ahead of everyone before Tom Revox managed to put down that final lap time. Big up to Nashift though, who's dropped by for his 21st month. He's subscribed, Jamie, 14 months in a row. As Jay Higg drops in and says, glad to be racing tonight, looking forward to season 2 tonight. I mean, yeah, we're not sure we'll give away season 2 straight off the bat, but either way, we're going to have a great old race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to Nashif very briefly, of course, we all know Nashif Moneybags over here. Not only is he on that hot subscription streak, Ryan,
Yeah.
but he also tops the donated subs board, donating
Does.
48 subscriptions in his time here.
Right.
I mean, That is absolutely. Can I say scenes, Ryan?
You're allowed to say scenes, yeah.
Can I offer you that?
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. So here we go. Just to confirm the qualification times tonight. Abzek in first. We've got Tom Revox, Gavin Baker making up your top three. Tyler Mullins, Daniel Holmer, James Buckley, Tom Shipston, Bostrom, McDonald and Blomqvist making up your top 10. Below them, Tam Hamill's there. Corso's here. Evans, Webb, Higgins, Joy, Wilkins, Van Innis, Omar and Crinson to the top 20. Beyond them, we've got Barton, 11, Gibbet, Blindshun, Cowie, Tucker, Govier, G Squared, Cisco, Foster, and beyond the top 30, Jamie, we got Rowe, Roughneck 1, Long 2, Prescott, Younger, Morga, Jimmy H, S Young, Annis, and Campbell. 41 drivers.
Looks like Jason is Flibberty's sponsor, and he's not happy with the 23rd position on the grid. It seems. I don't think Flibberty's qualifying for his sponsor bonus currently, right? It would seem. Sorry, I just chuckled because my little offhand nickname for Georges Gagea, G Squared, seems to have caught on because I chuckled because I noticed people in the chat in Discord using it yesterday, just in like casual, like it's just become his name now. He must have just changed his name, right?
Yeah, just G Squared. It works. That's all I'm going to say. It works. Yeah.
Sponsor is concerned. I'm loving that. Let's do this, Brian. I'm ready. I don't know about you.
I want to know the sort of sponsorship deal that's in place for football, really. Like, I mean, not being funny, Jason. I maybe you need to get a better like scouting department for your sponsors, because I mean, Flibberty's not been tearing at the trees. How did that sponsorship come about? Like, let him cheaper, yeah. I mean, he's obviously going to be a lesser rate than sort of Abzek Jar at the top, isn't he? To be fair, so maybe budgets couldn't quite stretch to go into the top of the grid. So yeah, I'd love to know some insight, Jason, into how that came about.
It's got to be cost basis, I imagine.
Yeah.
The real question, says Connie, is will Flib pull the Ethernet cable again? Was Flibberty the guy who was like adjusting his footrest or something and accidentally kicked his cable out?
Something like that, yeah.
Someone did that, didn't they?
Someone definitely did that, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it was him, to be fair. It wouldn't surprise me.
Someone definitely did that. Yeah, they did. We've had all sorts over the 27 months, Ryan, we've been doing this.
Look at this from the back of the grid, Jamie. Mr. Campbell has got it all going on tonight.
Unbelievable scenes, I think, is the only thing we can say there, Ryan.
Yep.
Let me change my what do we want for the race, Ryan? We want broadcasting. Here we go. This is what I want. Just want to give you a little track update because I know you love it. I know for all you nerds out there, they love all this, Ryan, don't they? Track conditions optimum. Air temperature 25. A balmy 25 degrees, Ryan. Can I offer you that? Track temperatures. A saucy 33 degrees. Wind, negligible, 0. Ryan, any questions?
No questions, Jamie, but we are going to get the answer to the most important question tonight, and that is someone here today is going to be drived the inaugural NoobGamerz champion.
I mean, yeah. So let's have a look, actually, because we've got Baker third, Holmer fifth. Now, don't forget, Holmer currently leads the title by 1 point, the championship by 1 point from Baker. So if they finished exactly as they start, Ryan, Baker would win the title by 1 point. Let me just double check who we got in third. Then we've got Blomqvist, who's struggling down there in 10th, Ryan. Dom Joy in 4th. Where's Dom Joy? Down in 16th, Ryan. Revox 5th is in 2nd place in the race, 5th in the title overall, about 20 points behind. So it's really looking like a Baker-Holmer battle to the death here, Ryan. And it's so close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair to him, Jamie, despite having an off week last week, because of his 2 strong races in the first week, I mean, let's not totally rule out Daniel Blomqvist either, who's in 3rd place. Qualified in 10th. We know he's got ability coming through pack from deeper in the pack as well. So, he's another person who could surprise us here tonight, assuming the top 2 in Baker and Holmer don't perhaps get it all their own way tonight.
Well, this is the thing, because of the way the points work, with every place getting a point and only 1 point between positions. For Blomqvist to overturn that 10-point deficit to Holmer, he needs to finish 10 or 11 places above him. Yeah. So it's a big ask, actually, for Blomqvist. He really needs those 2 above him to have issues, and he needs to be winning the race, really. So not a great qualifying for him, but yeah, absolutely, there's certainly a chance. We've seen all sorts happen, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. We certainly have. We're just on board with Tom Revox now, just making the most of these TV cameras, getting a good old look around the track, good look at the liveries, Jamie, because of course, you know, in ACC the drivers are free to create their own liveries from scratch. They can use the in-game ones as well, but you know, there's a huge variety of different liveries out there this evening, isn't there?
What are you liking? What
What
you
am I
feeling?
liking?
Any caught your eye?
I tell you
I'm
who
not sure
I
about
do
Baker's.
like. Yeah, Baker's. I think the
I'm
one
not
I
sure
do
about that.
like. Well, there's been a Daniel Crinson always puts a decent amount of effort into his, and he's changed it up tonight in a bid to try and confuse us with numbers and all sorts. He was in sort of a gold one. Now he's changed
Grinning,
to
yeah.
like an Italian theme one. But yeah, he does put a lot of effort, and he is always in the Discord channel, always just chatting about liveries, which is good to see. It's good that people, you know, get into it, because if I was driving, I'd be meticulously working on my livery to make it look absolutely sensational.
I mean, that would be sort of the key bit of the game for you, I imagine, rather than the actual racing itself, would it?
Yeah, probably. Just gonna have a quick look at Took, OG Noob, of course. Currently in 24th place. Roughneck 1, another OG. Just up ahead in 31st. Yeah, sorry, 34th. But yeah,
no, just have a look at Baker. The colour concerns me on Baker's livery.
well, it's just understated, isn't it?
It's very, yeah, it almost looks dirty. And it's a little bit better zoomed in like this.
Yeah.
From further out when it catches the sun, it sort of looks like a bit muddy.
Okay.
Okay. It looks a bit better zoomed in like this, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'll let him off.
That's good. That's good.
Great racer,
Glad
though,
let
you
him
know.
off.
Oh
Glad you
yeah,
let
I'm sure he'll be relieved, my friend. Gob Bless Gibbet says UEV2, and also Ryan, you know, Teuton 7 not wanting to be outdone. He also chimes in with Gob Bless Gibbet.
There's a lot of people in line to support Liberty Gibbet tonight. 23. Who is that just smashing up the grid? Someone's having a right old go, but we're just on the warm-up lap at the moment, and all the boys and girls from the Liberty Gibbet fan club are clearly in, and we'll see how he goes on this evening. Thank you everyone for joining us. Carry on, Jamie.
Sorry, just very quickly, I didn't want to forget Mickey 30, who's also nipped in with Bless his Gob. I didn't mention that one, so I'm massive apologies to Mickey 30 there, Ryan. From both of us, I'd say.
From both of us, exactly. Right, well, welcome everyone. Great to have everyone on board for this. What is the final race of our ACC Season 1? Season 2 probably announced, well, hopefully in the next sort of 24, 48 hours perhaps, given it starts next week, so we'll give some people some notice. I'm sure Jimmy will post all the details in the Discord channel. And Jamie, if people want to get involved with the Discord channel, how can they do that as this race gets kicked off underway?
Well, take us through the race, mate. We'll sort that out after.
Abazekjar gets a good early lead and miscalculated how long we had left before we started this race. But
don't worry.
We're on board here. Tom
P1.
Revox, Gavin Baker's been taken down to 4th, although obviously as we can see there, Tyler Mullins going a little bit too eagerly into that first corner, but nonetheless, Jamie, Gavin Baker does lose a position down to 4th. Abazekjar gets away pretty well. And there's a few accident markers coming up on my screen as we look at the front. Let's just dive into the middle of the pack and see what's going on. We've jumped on board with Philip Barton. But yes, Jamie, all these packs, as ever, starting to form now.
Yeah, Tyler Mullins completely cutting the opening chicane. Surely he's got to give up some positions there, but he doesn't seem to be. So he's absolutely hugely got away with that one, Ryan, because he went well wide there. So let's see if he does give up some positions. He does have Baker right on the back of him, and he is maybe. It's hard to tell if he's letting him through or just it's. No, he's definitely not letting him through. Let's clarify that as they drag race down the straight under the bridge. So Mullins getting away with that start, Ryan. So it'd be interesting to try and see that again, maybe if possible. So Baker nips in behind him. We got James Buckley up there riding high this week, Ryan, up in 5th place, and there's Daniel Holmer going to make a move here. They're all picking up the toe off each other early doors as Pete Bostrom in 7th place is going to make a move on Holmer as well, Ryan. It is all kicking off in this pack.
It certainly is. Yeah, we've got a 4-way battle going into this next corner. James Buckley's just ahead of it. He's got his eyes on Gavin Baker, but in behind Philip Bostrom, Daniel Holder going out with Daniel Blomqvist in there for fun as well, who's gained a couple of positions from his 10th place in qualifying. But Abazekjar gets a good early lead, Jamie, nearly 2 seconds already, but we know he's been known to some erratic driving, falling down the grid, making mistakes, and with 57 minutes on this clock still to go it's still anyone's race tonight.
Absolutely, it's a big and an important lead for Jar.
Oh, whoa! Big takeout! Big
It's Holmer.
takeout. Holmer comes through on the overall lead of the 1-2. The leaders in the championship taking not each other out. Holmer just making a mistake and flipping the car of Gavin Baker round. Big news, Jamie, for the permutations of this championship.
I mean, it had to be those two, didn't it? The two fighting for the title, and Holmer's come off hugely worse, Ryan. He just carried way too much speed. Definitely not intentional.
No.
Because there's nothing to gain from that. He just massively misjudged the braking point, and he's dropped back down to 11th, 12th place now. Must have some serious damage. It was a big hit. Baker down to 6th, but seems to still be on pace relatively. You'd expect him to have some damage surely as well, though. But yeah, I mean, devastating for the championship of hopes of both of them, potentially. Nah, shift, oh my days.
I haven't seen a dive bomb like that since World War II.
Was Nash that old, is he? Jeez.
Yeah, he's an old boy. But, Jamie, interestingly, what that has done, we mentioned it earlier, Daniel Blomqvist now ahead of both of the two leaders of this championship. So he's got himself in a good position early doors. Obviously, we know Gavin Baker will be back because that's just what he does. Baker's actually just gone ahead of him now, actually.
On the track, yeah.
Appreciate the ACC leaderboard update.
Yes, of course. Just to absolutely make you look like a right.
Yeah, but either way, you know, Blomqvist in behind Baker. He's gained 4 positions from his qualification time. And he's still got a lot of fun ahead of him, I'm sure.
I mean, jump on with Holmer, right? Because he's already, he's recovered from that damage, it seems. He's already trying to get back here, straight back into the mix with Corso and Omar here. We're having their own little battle as we come up to that devastating turn 1 that's given us action on both laps so far. And he's a lot more cautious this time. And actually so cautious, he's got Tam Hamill, straight behind him as Bartoy recovers to the track, Ryan. But he was out of position. That's about.
He certainly was, yes. Good racing so far. It's looking good out there, Jamie, for the start of this.
Yeah, you right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to fix a few things on the fly. Don't worry about
good.
me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Good. Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. I don't think you can get rid of that ping, just so you know, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, we definitely once had it without it. So
yeah, it's only when you very first switched it on the other week, it didn't, and then within like 2 seconds it flicked up. So I don't think there's a way to do it, mate.
Oh, it's disappointing. It is disappointing.
It is disappointing. So somehow Gavin Baker seems to have escaped with not critical damage, at least to his pace that we can see, because he is actually pulling away from Blomqvist. So he's currently running 5th, and whilst that's not ideal for him, Daniel Holmer running 11th would mean Gavin Baker would take this title relatively comfortably, actually.
Yeah.
So could have worked out okay for him if things stay like they are.
Yeah, no, certainly could. But as we know, Jamie, 54 minutes still to go. You know,
that's true.
Literally. Anything can happen here at the NoobGamerz. Well, we're hitting up Monza tonight for our final race of the ACC League, our 4-week season coming to a conclusion this evening. And as you said, Jamie, it's certainly Gavin Baker in the hot seat at the moment. But should we have a little dive around the, track and see what other battles are out there, Jamie? Is there anything taking your fancy at the moment?
I'm just trying to sort my...
I'm just going to jump on board with Blindshun while you find something, because he's in a battle here in the orange car. He's got Rowan Crinson looking to get a bit fresh with him in behind, Jamie. Crinson does actually make a pass just on Gary Rowe, although Gary Rowe does get it back into the corner. But we've sort of got 4 cars. We've got a little bit of a concertina effect, and it is actually Crinson who gets turned around the wrong way and is causing carnage on that corner. He couldn't do anything about it. He got spun round completely, not his fault. And then, of course, because everyone was trying to drive round the corner straight afterwards, he couldn't move because he would have just hit someone. So he actually did the sensible thing and just sort of sat tight and everyone got round. But that has cost him some serious places, and obviously he's going to lose that opportunity to push. But there's another battle here. Tom Shipston, Jamie, we mentioned him earlier. He's on the back of Omar with Joy just in behind him. So there's a lot of battles up and down this grid wherever you look.
It's very close. There's no big gaps anyway. I mean, in fact, actually the biggest gaps in the whole field, Ryan, are in the first couple of positions. After that, it's unbelievably quick. Gavin Baker, in fact, has caught up in 5th place onto the back of Jay Buckley in 4th. So never mind that damage, Ryan. He's absolutely gunning for it still, Gavin Baker, setting good, quick lap times, second a lap quicker than Buckley last time around. And he's right onto his tail end, surely, Ryan. He's just had a little bit of wheel spin there that cost him a little bit of traction, but he's on the back and surely he's going to have a go into turn 1. I just feel like maybe he's lost the momentum there a bit though, right?
Yeah, he's just basically like a
coming
couple
back.
of feet just away from where he probably wants to be, isn't he? In terms of
yeah.
that, making that move.
Exactly.
I mean, T1 here is a bit mental if you don't concentrate properly. So he's done
Well,
the
as we've
safe
seen.
thing, unlike Blomqvist, who's not done the right thing to just drive
Oh,
through
dear.
it. But because there's so long left in this race, Jamie, you don't have to make that dive bomb into T1, do you?
No, it's absolutely. It's a crazy corner, of course, Ryan. Yeah, and we've seen every lap some action there. That Crimson one was so unlucky. I did chuckle that the when he was completely turned round and the whole pack was coming through him. He must have been absolutely shitting himself. And then one of the marshals I saw in the background was just stood there casually waving little yellow flag, like, "Watch out, lads! Watch out! Yeah, we can see. There's a car parked the wrong way round on the chicane, lads. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, interestingly, Jamie, Buckley, you get the feeling like
Yeah.
he's not. I mean, let's look at his last lap. So his last lap, yeah, 149, not bad. I'm getting the feeling he's causing a little bit of a train to build up here because Tyler Mullins is catching, Bostrom's catching, Blomqvist not too far away as well. So although Gavin Baker's got his sights set on James Buckley, who's doing well in 3rd place, you know, there are cars starting to join the party now, which could make this battle very interesting indeed.
You're right, but I think perhaps it's a bit harsh to call him a train just yet. There is, still a decent gap to the couple of cars behind. He's definitely holding up Baker, though. Absolutely no doubt. Baker, you don't need to have a go there. Be patient. He just needs to get the traction right. And he's done it again, Ryan, again.
Careful.
Just like last time. That's going to make him vulnerable to Mullins, Ryan, who's going to have a much better run on him. And here comes Mullins, in fact. And I think this is a place lost for Baker.
It certainly is. Yeah, Mullins got the easy run on him there. Easy as you like. Gets the job done on Gavin Baker. Up into 4th place now. Gavin Baker with that mistake. Bit over eager to try and make that overtake on James Buckley. James Buckley just carries on like nothing's happened. Although, Gavin Baker and Mullins again going side by side round the corners. More people making a hash of T1 there. Let's get up high on board with our helicopter here, Jamie, to keep on board with this one. But at the moment, it is Tyler Mullins just about holding off Gavin Baker, who's back on the charge.
Yeah, Mullins again going too deep into the first corner and almost losing that place immediately, but he did manage to just hold on. Yeah, I mean, we said it. You said it half a lap before. Not about Baker specifically, but generally there's 50 minutes left. Let's just be patient. And then Baker, way too eager on the final corner, didn't need to do that. Just needed to tuck him behind, and we've seen Baker. He's binned it, Ryan. He's absolutely binned it.
Wow,
and that is it. So this championship, Ryan. It is switching constantly as Blomqvist comes back through, right?
Well,
I do wonder if Baker is struggling with a bit of damage, of course.
He could well be, yeah. But now Blomqvist is ahead of him. Blomqvist currently 3rd in the overall championship. Gavin Baker 1st in the overall championship. So, we could see some interesting scenes because, of course, Jamie, obviously the big news from earlier, Daniel Holmer had that collision with Gavin Baker, who's down in 9th place. So it's really anyone's guess who's going to come on top here, because if Gavin Baker keeps making the mistakes like we saw there, he's going to have a hard time of it. But anyway, back down the track, we're going to jump on board with David Corso, who's having a right old go on Tam Hamill here, Jamie. And these three really going for it.
Do you get that? Or?
What's that? Sorry.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Corso, course, no. Not having it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. No, that's fine. Just a quick one to Theg. Hello, how's it going, boys? Yeah, good, Theg. How are you? Good news as well. Gemino Crafter 0193 Ryan is offering to make us famous.
Really? Where do I
so
sign?
If you could sort that out, just click that little Russian website URL there, right? It looks like.
Oh, Jamie, you know what I've done accidentally?
You clicked the ban button.
I clicked the ban button, yeah.
No. You always do that accidentally.
Always do
ban
that
the people that
accidentally,
can help us.
exactly. They're going to make us famous. I always accidentally click the ban button, but, never mind.
Uger, yeah, I mean, just very briefly, going back to the championship battle, it's fascinating now because We thought that Holmer was going to really struggle after that big hit on his big rival in the title, Baker. But Baker, with that mistake, Ryan, too eager there, has gone back to 6. So actually, he's only 3 places ahead now of Holmer. Holmer 1 point ahead in the standings going into this race. So Baker, he hasn't got much more margin for error here, Ryan. And if Holmer is able to start going up the leaderboard a couple of places, which he's definitely capable of, all of a sudden we could actually see Holmer suddenly back in a position to win this title.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all to play for here. We're just on board with Philip Barton, who was in a battle with Andrew Webb, but he seems to be getting away, although Mr. Legionary is getting quite close to him now. Flibberty Gibbert up to 16th place, just in behind them as well, Jamie. So these three in a battle, and again, just shows the strength and depth we've got here on this grid, because there are literally battles all over the place at the moment, and it looks like Mr. Barton's going to try and make a move here.
Yeah, well, they've both gone past Corso, who's really struggling for pace out there, whether he's got some damage now. Legionary may be a bit out of position down in 14th, right? We've seen him well inside the top 10 most of this season, haven't we?
Yeah.
On pace, for sure, but they've both gained a place there, and Legionary's going to be trying to go for that 2nd place in as many corners here if he can try and get the move done on Barton.
He certainly is, yeah. And Jimmy H. Official finally joins us. He was actually banned from Twitch chat overall. He got locked out of his Twitch account for reasons that we cannot disclose for legal reasons.
Oh my God, can I guess?
This evening.
He's got to be Amaranth. He's got to be some filth in the Amaranth stream.
He's finally in, so welcome, Jimmy.
What else could he have been banned for other than saying lewd comments to Amaranth?
I don't know.
Come on now.
But anyway, let's see what's going on at the top. And it's James Buckley still, Jamie. You know, I've done him a massive disservice, it has to be said.
Well, I did say.
He's still rocking 3rd place, holding off Tyler Mullins very well. Daniel Bonquist in 5th place. He's got a couple of positions on Gavin Baker, but he's going to need a lot more than that to try and get up this leaderboard to give him a chance to win this championship. Well,
Baker's been passed again, Ryan. So Bostrom is up to 6. So now Baker is only 2 places ahead of Holmer. There's a long way to go still. But if it was to finish now, Baker would win this title by 1 single point. And Holmer is right on the back of Wilkins. So if Holmer can make that pass on Wilkins, Ryan, he'll be 1 place behind Baker, which would mean that they would be tied on points now.
Yeah, what do we do there then?
What do we do there? Yeah.
Jimmy!
That's exactly it. Jimmy would have to decide how he wants to do tiebreakers. I mean, they've both. Gavin Baker has won a race, and Daniel Holmer hasn't. That is the normal first way of separating them in a tie. So in that instance, I would assume it would go to Gavin Baker.
I think Tyler Mullins might have overcooked that one, lads.
He's done that a lot, hasn't he?
He's got himself a drive-through now.
Oh, it's not a surprise. I mean, he did it on lap 1, didn't he, and gained a few places. It's he's struggling with that corner, right?
He is. I mean, James Buckley is obviously just driving there, and all of a sudden, Tyler Mullins just goes firing past him into that corner. He must have absolutely bricked it, going, "What is going on here?" But yeah, Tyler Mullins has picked up a drive-through, so that's not going to be good news for him.
And it's happened, Ryan. Holmer is through. Wilkins is down to 10th. Had a mistake. So Holmer is now 1 place behind Gavin Baker. Gavin Baker, who seems to be going backwards, Ryan. These two coming together early in the race, both getting damage. And now they're 1 place apart. 1 point apart in the championship as well. We've got ourselves a tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think he's catching here, Jamie. It has to be said. He's...
Okay.
I feel like he's reeling him in a little bit here, because they were definitely further apart than this. But yeah, Daniel Holmer up to 8th, and as you said, Jamie, they are now tied for the lead of the championship. Gavin Baker with, currently a slight advantage, given that he has won a race during this championship so far. But wow, Jimmy said we probably
he's coming up with all sorts of crazy ideas. Jim, just do our race wins, mate. That's how everyone else does it. It's always, easy, isn't it? Then
always likes to make things overcomplicated.
Isn't it? Yeah. He's probably busy watching Amaranth. To be fair, she is just chatting right now. Ryan, yes, this is super close. I mean, it was a massive hit, wasn't it? And if we just cast back to that incident where Holmer massively overcooked it at this very point of the track, in fact.
Yeah.
But I just get the sense that Baker maybe has come off slightly worse on damage, right? Do you get that sense?
Well,
he's struggling a bit more than normal.
Yeah, I mean, last lap pace, he is the slowest person outside of the top 9 at the moment. And like, he's not had a very good last lap, to be fair to him.
No.
So it could be a sign he's either struggling, it could be a sign he's got damage.
Yeah.
We don't really know, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, I keep getting pulled back into this battle between Buckler and Mullins, but with Mullins having that drive-through penalty,
Yeah.
that
Go
is
with
going to shake
Shipton.
things out. I mean, the thing is to remember here, though, Jamie, Tyler
Yep.
Mullins with the drive-through,
Yeah.
that's going to promote Daniel Blomqvist up another position. And of
It
course,
is indeed.
he is
Wow.
in third place.
Could he do it right?
I mean, he is currently 9 points away from them.
Yeah,
so if
he
he gets
needs-
up, he needs a decent gap, doesn't he?
He does.
need a
He
decent
needs
gap.
11 places.
Yeah.
He needs 11 places to Holmer. So, I mean, it's possible, though, because if that damage gets worse or the damage causes them to have more issues, then I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Daniel Blomqvist, won the first race, of course, in great style, had a solid race 2, had a very weak race 3, only 28 points, sort of mid-pack for his standards. That at the moment is costing him. But yeah, I mean, drama, Ryan. We could see it. Shipston, though, in the 11th right, jump on board. He's in a great battle
just done
here.
it now. Yeah, just jumped on board with Andy Wilkins, actually, who's trying to pip Tam Hamill, but just in behind is Tom Shipston. So these three going at it for 9th place at the moment. Wilkins in a Hamill-Shipston sandwich. But yeah, it just shows, these three are, top drivers. We know how good Shipston is. Although, I'm going to say it, Jamie.
Do it.
Monza, for whatever reason, just seems to have just tippled the sort of normality we see with a lot of the drivers. You look at Webb, obviously he's well down in 17th place now, got a drive through as well.
Got a drive through, yeah.
Obviously Daniel Joy, 15th place, he's raced really well this championship. You could argue he's out of position. Tom Shipston obviously wasn't here last week, normally solid inside the top 10, just outside it at the moment. James Buckley been catapulted up the grid into 3rd place, seemed to obviously got hold of this track. So for whatever reason, this track seemingly better for some and not others tonight.
Yeah, definitely shaking it up a bit. Shipston's a fascinating one, as you say, because he wasn't here last week, but week 1 and week 2 on the podium, both races. So you definitely expect him to be a bit higher up. Just seems to be a track that doesn't perhaps suit some of the traditionally quicker guys for whatever reason, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, Blomqvist is a great shout earlier, Ryan, to keep an eye on. I mean, it's working out for him at the moment. 40 minutes to go. He's got Mullins ahead with the drive-through, as you said, although, Baker and Holmer will probably gain the places from that as well. But yeah, absolutely. Fascinating. Let's jump on with Flibberty briefly, Ryan, because we know he's got a lot of fans. Flans? He's got loads of flans.
He's got loads of flans.
Shitloads of them, but he's also got a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And he's just coming off the back of Philippe Barton, so I know they'd love to see a Flibberty pass live on track if it's possible.
Indeed. Well, I've just jumped on lower down the board on Toby Long, who was in a battle of his own. There's a great three-way between him, Stuart Annis and Ray Younger at the moment going on here for 28th and 27th place. But we will jump on board with Flibberty, as you can see, as Jamie said, he's just in behind Philip Barton at the moment, and the flans are going to be loving it, Jamie.
Oh, there's sort of like quiches everywhere. As Gibberty, he does make the move round the outside, round the inside of the long right-hander there, I should say. But it is going to mean that he's weak on the toe to Philip Barton, who's going to come straight back at him, Ryan, using this toe, and maybe we're going to see a dive bomb into T1. Not that we've seen many of them already.
Yeah, we're a little bit lacking in that department, actually, Jamie. You haven't seen enough of them, if anything.
He absolutely bottled it there, Barton, Ryan. He slammed the brakes on about 400 metres from the corner there. He was not going in there. But there we go. The flans and the fans of Liberty have seen a live pass from their man, their hero, Ryan, their god. As Deke also, Ryan, joins us in chat, which only means one thing.
He does. He's either in the pits for a long, long time, or perhaps the
true.
suspected damage you questioned earlier, Jamie, given his lack of pace out there. We saw him just falling away. We're assuming, Mr. Corso, that you perhaps got some damage that you couldn't quite shake off. But please let us know what happened, because, we're always intrigued to know. Jamie, top of the leaderboard. Abhishek Jha, he's smashing it, isn't he, to be fair to him?
He's having one of those races, isn't he, where he's just sort of got into the zone. So you do feel like if Jha could have hooked it together in all 4 races, he'd be clear away winning this title, Ryan. But, that's not racing, and he hasn't been able to do that. Last week wasn't his fault, sure, he had connection issues. But But in week 1, I seem to remember he had a couple of spins and stuff. So, he's got the pace, right? But you need to have the consistency as well. Week 2, of course, he smashed it. Week 4, it looks like he's doing the same. He's got a 17, 18 second lead on Revox, who himself, Ryan, is having an absolutely stunning race in a very solid second place. But it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. Ryan, Gavin Baker, he's sort of settled himself. He's taken a few laps to just conserve, just regroup, and he's put the pace back down. He's pulled away from Holmer again, and he's right onto the back of Bostrom, and also Bluntfist, Ryan. So Baker having a little resurgence here.
He certainly is. Talking of Daniel Holmer, Jamie, he's just trying to shake off Tam Hamill at the moment for 7th place. Tam Hamill giving him something to think about, asking him plenty of questions, but has Daniel Holmer got any of the answers to maintain his position in 7th place? Because as you said, Jamie, with Gavin Baker noticeably, getting himself back together, Daniel Holmer's got to pull something out of the bag here if he's got any opportunity of winning this championship.
Well, I mean, currently they're going to tie on points, and as we've just said, if we go with the race wins tiebreaker, which seems like the one we'll probably go for, that would mean that Baker would win it, actually. So Holmer now needing to finish 1 place ahead of Baker, actually, to secure this title here, as Hamill makes the move, and that is not going to help his quest, Ryan.
No, that is not going to help his quest at all. Not good news for Daniel Holmer, who, of course, was in that incident early doors with Gavin Baker. But to lose that position, I mean, that looked pretty easy as well, to be fair. Tam Hamill getting the move done nice and easy around that corner and looking actually a little bit quicker. So, championship hopeful Daniel Holmer perhaps struggling here a little bit now, Jamie.
Well, Bostrom, who was 5th, Ryan, we've just seen all 3 of them overtake him in the yellow car there. So Bostrom knocked down to 8th. Must have had an issue. He looked very slow. He is coming back now on Holmer, though. But that's just put more places, if he gets back past Holmer, between Holmer and Baker here. What will be interesting is they're both, these two guys, these two championship contenders, they're going to have a difficult decision to make when it comes to the pit stops, right? Because we know they've both taken damage. They came together with each other. Are they going to take the risk of repairing the damage and spending that extra time for for hopefully some additional pace and balance, or are they going to just try and think, okay, I can do enough, I'm going to hang it out? But they've also got to think about what the other person does, because if one of them pits for damage and the other one doesn't repair, that's a big delta in pit time. So it's a bit of mind games going on here potentially, which way they're going to go.
Well, yeah, exactly, and there is not a lot in it. We are literally talking 1 or 2 points being the difference at the moment between these fellows at the top of the leaderboard. So, as you said, Jamie, you're absolutely right to point that out, because it is certainly something that both of them are going to be considering. And as we approach the halfway mark, Jamie, of course, they're going to have to consider it perhaps a little bit quicker than they would like, because they haven't got long to decide what they're going to do in terms of pits. But we shall see, of course. Let's see what else we've got going on up and down the grid. We've got a great battle here, Jamie, as they carve through back markers as well. We're on board with Daniel Evans, who's trying to fight with Ben Sisko and Stephen Cowie at the same time. But these two having a right old ding-dong as they're passing back markers and just trying to make some moves on each other. But Daniel Evans looking a little bit racy here as he tries to overtake Ben Sisko.
He is in quite a sexy sort of old school pink and white livery he's got going on there, right? Oh, with that Sky logo on the top, actually. I sort of ruined it a bit there, isn't it? I only just saw that. Yeah, great to see Sisko out on track there, right? Because I did see in the Discord he was sort of suggesting earlier or the other day that he didn't feel like he was quick enough and wasn't sure if he was going to continue, and he had lots of hashtag community posts telling him to stick at it, right? And he's having an absolutely fantastic race here up in 15th place.
Yeah, doing very well tonight. Yeah, well done, Ben. Good to see him sticking at it. That's what we're all here for, Jamie. We're not here, of course, the people at home, we're putting the race on, we put it live on Twitch, and we like to see what's going on at the top end of the grid. We like to see who's winning, and who's doing well, because it, adds a bit of excitement. But, ultimately here for putting on races, for anyone to have a go at, whether you think you're good, think you're bad, whatever you think about yourself, there's always an opportunity to race. And Ben Sisko at the moment... Oh! Sorry, that just caught me off guard a little bit there. That back marker, I just saw it in the distance coming. I was thinking, what is going to happen here? That is the ultimate eye of the needle move from Daniel Evans there, ladies and gentlemen. Wowzers. He wasn't giving up on that one, was he?
Absolutely not, Ryan. Yeah, classic. Classic.
Flippity Cam, Jamie. He's got Tyler Mullins all over him.
Tyler Mullins, of course, who served that drive-through penalty he picked up, Ryan, for continuously cutting that first chicane, I imagine. And he's now back at the pits. He will have to pit again, of course, because the drive-through does not count as your one mandatory pit. Otherwise, that would be a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to pit again, but he's right in the back
What's
yet
he
again.
doing?
He's just carrying so much speed, Ryan, into these corners that he's so close to drivers in front. He's not braking in time to allow for the difference in the other car's potential braking zones.
I don't understand
And
it.
he's catching himself out, Ryan, lap after lap, isn't he?
I genuinely don't understand it, because Tyler Mullins last week was absolutely on fire, raced really, really well, and he started to sort of be noticed in our brains, didn't he? Really, we're like, okay, Tyler Mullins, he's up there, he's one of the good boys,
Cracking interview as well.
Cracking interview as well. But tonight, as we see Mike Tucker go into the pits, tonight it just doesn't quite seem to be on it, does he? He's made a few mistakes that we've caught now, and it's hard to sort of find a reason why.
Indeed, as Liberty continues this excellent race, sorry Ryan, just to say, up to 9th place now for Liberty. Yet to pit, of course, but so were most yet to pit. So Liberty having a fantastic race. Yeah, Tyler Miller's an interesting one. Just trying to carry too much speed everywhere, Ryan.
Yeah.
Too eager.
Exactly.
That's okay. It's, tough race, tough track, right?
Right, Jamie, we got some movers and shakers at the top. We're on board with Daniel Blomqvist, who look who he has all over his bumper trying to get past.
I mean, literally every single place counts for Baker, Blomqvist and Holmer in the championship battle right now. And Baker would be really stamping his authority on this title race, Ryan, if he can get this done. He'd really be putting one of his main rivals back in their box. But Blomqvist pushes him wide and defends brilliantly. Baker. Now, this is where we saw Baker before, right, make mistakes, wasn't it? When he was right up behind cars. Oh no! Whoa! Awful move! Oh no! Moving. I think he was trying to get out of the way,
gotta go careful there as well. Oh, that's the danger, isn't it? That is the danger, ladies and gentlemen, of...
And he's taken somewhere else.
Oh no, what's going on? That is the danger, and we try and tell people as much as possible, if you're a back marker, don't get it, just don't move out of the way. Stick to your line, let people go around you. But I think, Jamie, he was just panicked. I think he tried moving out of the way. And, but anyway, Blomqvist takes advantage of it by diving in the pits.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. No, we're not blaming Toby Long. As you say, I think he obviously didn't do that on purpose. Like you say, he looked panicked, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because Blomqvist had so much space. Oh, and he's just rimmed through in the pits as well. That's funny. It's fine. He can do that in the pits. I'm only joking. But yeah, he just looked panicked. He didn't know which way to go. He tried to go right. Blomqvist had already gone right, and there was no space left. And but that's a devastating blow to Blomqvist, right? And any slim chance he had of winning this title.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'd be a lesson learned for both of them. I think from a back marker perspective, next time he'll think, well, it's the person behind me's job to get past here. All right, you want to try and make it easy for them, but without those erratic movements, just keep to your line, let them go past. It's up to them to get round you. But again, Daniel Blomqvist to be learning, perhaps I need to just go a little bit steady when I'm rearing up on the back of a back marker there.
It's
because,
hard,
it's hard. It is hard.
He had Baker right behind him, and they're fighting for the championship. And he had the speed. I think he's made his move to the right. I'm not sure Blomqvist did much wrong there, right? To be honest, but it was just bad luck. Anyway, yeah. So he has now pit. Of course, he's went straight into the pits. Come back out in 12th place currently, just in behind Tam Hamill. Oh no, he's now corrected. He's 14th now, just in behind Tam Hamill.
Indeed.
Right. So he's going to try and make his way back up now as the top three all come into the pits.
Indeed. Right. Well, as those boys are in the pits, let's go further down the grid, and we're on board with Goodnight 11, Jamie. Who's in a three-way battle here with our good old friend, old racer Stevie Young in 28th, and George McDonald. Fresh off the pasture in 30th place. The three of them going out here looking great around this track.
I was literally thinking, how's he going to get an old McDonald pun in here? You just went straight in as Goodnight 11 goes straight in as well, Ryan. And he makes a brilliant move on Steve Young, who very respectfully gives him the space to do it. So fair play. But then Goodnight 11 running very wide, making use of all the track there, Ryan, and more.
Yeah.
Track plus.
I think that's a very polite way of putting it, Jamie. Yeah, making the
Track
most of
plus.
all the track.
Making the most of all the land that the circuit is on.
Brilliant, brilliant. But yeah, that was a great
There we
move.
go.
Great to catch it live here. What else have we got going on up and down this grid? Let's have a little nosy around. Sort of where the pits come in, Jamie. We always have sort of a moment or two, don't we, of just, you know, it all just sort of shaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
I
on
mean,
board
look,
with
look where
Daniel.
we are now with
Yes.
first and second, Ryan. Sorry. First and second, Baker and Holmer, our two championship battlers, both yet to pit, but they've both now inherited first and second,
Yeah.
which is just an interesting way. Quite a gap between them, those 6 seconds, as Holmer's just coming up onto a back marker here.
Although it has to be said, this is a time. If you don't remember from last week, I can't remember who it was, but they managed to eke out a lead like this, Gavin Baker, with like an open track in front of him, and they made a huge jump in the pits because they just
Here
had
comes
open track,
Baker
and someone
coming
else
in.
came into traffic. I can't remember who it was now. It's going to bug me.
Oh, here
but-
comes Holmer, Ryan. They're both coming in on the same
Okay,
lap. This
okay.
is fascinating because we've already talked about, you know, the mind game chicken, which one's going to repair damage or not, and maybe spend longer in the pits or not. Who's going to want to take that risk and have a better car afterwards?
Well,
This is going to be fascinating.
it's going to be fascinating.
I'll keep an eye on
I was
that,
going
mate.
to say, I'm just going to jump on board with.
Yeah, do that.
I was going to jump on board with Abhishek Jha, Jamie, but he's again left the server.
Oh no, he's gone.
Yeah, he is gone. Which
Oh no,
that's
DC again. He's in
sort of-
chat, Ryan.
Oh, DC
Oh,
again. I was going to say,
Jha.
literally just went to click his name. I was thinking, that's weird. It's not working. What's going on? Looked at the leaderboard and
no.
he wasn't to be seen. So,
Abhishek, just take like 0.1% of your racing speed and put it into your broadband speed.
yeah. yeah. Man,
Unbelievable,
oh,
mate.
So unlucky.
Unbelievable.
So unlucky.
Both still in the pits. I'm keeping an eye on them, right? I'll keep you updated if you want to go to another battle.
Okay, good. Let's see what we got here then. Greg Prescott with Mike Tucker in tow for 13th place. Onid Racing's finest. It's trying to hold off Mike Tucker here in the bright white car. And it looks like Mike Tucker's got a little bit of a pace advantage. He's going to move up alongside him into this next corner. He's going to get his car ahead as well. So a lot more pace being shown here from Mr. Tucker. They go side by side into the corner. And it is Mike Tucker who comes out on top, gaining that position. So that's a good move. Greg Prescott yet to pit. Ben Sisko yet to pit is now in the pit. Stuart Annis, another person yet to pit in 17th place. Jamie, how's it going in the pits?
Very exciting news, Ryan. Big mix-up. They both came out relatively close, actually, but crucially, Holmer got the jump on Baker. He was just about 5 seconds less in pit time. And so they've swapped positions in the pit lane. They could literally see each other. Baker would have had to sit there excruciatingly watching Holmer pull away a few seconds before him. And actually, Baker now has been passed by Wilkins out on track. So Baker's struggling to get up to speed on these new tyres, whilst Holmer is up there. So Holmer now has a car between himself and Baker. So the initiative has swung yet again, Ryan, in this yo-yo of a championship battle, back to D. Holmer, who now holds all the cards. This is great.
This is great indeed. Abhishek Shah says, thanks for hosting, guide. Had lots of fun. Yeah, I mean, you certainly look like you're having a great old time out there tonight, showing your pace for sure. You had a great old race. And again, Jamie! Baker's
That could be
touched and he's spun and he's lost a serious
Who was
amount of
that?
time. Wow, ladies and
What
gentlemen.
happened,
He's
Ryan?
lost
I
some
only saw the
positions.
outcome.
Let me show you the last 30 seconds here. As you
Okay,
can
do
see,
it.
Gavin Baker just making his way around the corners. You know, he's doing all right. Can we get a bit closer into chase cam here so we can see exactly what's going on? Here we go. So on board with Baker. Mulga, one of the back markers, there was just a gap for that. He just taps the back of his car and spins Baker out.
He tried to squeeze through, Ryan, and that maybe is a better example of what you were saying about trying to be patient with the back markers when you've got a championship on the line. I mean, it's very, very fine margins, but could he have just backed off just for a second, Ryan?
Well, I mean, it's cost him. It has cost him.
It has cost
Further
him.
up the grid, we're on board with Tam Hamill, who's got himself
Wow.
back up to 5th place now, Jamie. He's got Philip Bostrom just in behind him as well. And you can see Gavin Baker down there now, further down the
that's-
grid. Like,
And
oh,
Holmer's up in third, Ryan.
yeah.
Holmer's up in third, so this is a massive swing. Baker now seventh, Holmer third, so Holmer in now a fantastic position to win this title. It looked like he was down and out when he had that early smash into the side of Baker, but he's
Oh.
turned it round, Ryan. He's kept his head down, and now it's looking good for him.
Yep, it certainly is. Here he is, Daniel Holmer, currently the leader of the overall championship, not of this race, but he's got the points in the bag from the last 3 races. This is race 4, and the trophy, Jamie, he's currently got one hand on it with 22 minutes to go of this race.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, actually, that he's got one hand on it. It is looking that way, but, we've seen it swap maybe 4 or 5 times already tonight, so I'm yet to rule it out. And Blomqvist also recovering up to 8th. He's now only 1 place behind Gavin Baker. Of course, he does need that big 10-place swing, but it is still possible. It is still possible. Baker's back up to speed now. Team XRL Gav. I love it. And he's got a few cars in front of him here. He's got Bostrom, he's got Hamill, he's got Wilkins.
Oh, there's Morgan again.
Oh no, Ryan.
He's got to
be scared. Oh no, he's got to be scared, Baker. Thinking right now. Not getting out of it at all, is he? He's keeping his foot in. Fair enough, and there it is. He's through. But wow, we can see Bostrom just up ahead of us. Then we can see Tam Hamill. So there's a couple of places there, right? He's just got to take this one place at a time, Gavin. He's got time still as Campbell comes across in the braking zone as well. Wow, wow, wow. Back marker chaos, Ryan.
Back marker chaos indeed. Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, as you said, Jamie. 20 minutes left, 1 car at a time, making his moves, because we know he's quick. We know he's got the pace, but few too many incidents out there for him tonight, causing a few problems, both of which, Jamie, wasn't actually him necessarily being the instigator. He's got to go carefully. He is being...
I mean, Campbell, to be fair to him, did everything he could to get out of the way there, but Baker obviously want to getting a move on. Oh, Gavlar, Ryan, he just needs to get his head down. He's got time, like you said, 20 minutes to go. Anything could happen to Holmer. It has happened to Holmer. We've seen him make mistakes already tonight. Gavlar's got to just hope that that's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Think he likes Gavlar? Let's ask him.
We'll ask him later, yeah. Anyway, shout out to Tom Revox, Jamie. He's hardly had a sniff of the camera tonight. He's been sort of racing on his own, keeping his head down, keeping out of trouble, keeping out of the battles. And, he's got himself up to first place in this race so far. 20 minutes still to go, as you said. James Buckley, again, another racer who's had a fantastic night out there, currently residing in second place. Just over 4 seconds split in those two at the moment. But these two boys, they've had a fantastic race. Despite what's going on with the championship permutations, tonight's race is certainly looking good for these two.
Absolutely, and Revox, another one, Ryan, who had a very strong race 1 and 2, had a poor race 3, only 19 points, struggled a bit last week, and again that's put him slightly out of position. He's 19 points off the top going into tonight. I mean, if he was just a bit closer, and now he's in the position to win this race, he's another one who you could chuck into the championship contenders bag, along with Shipston, Jar, all these other ones that for whatever reason have fallen a bit short, but it just sums up the strength of this driver field, I think, and sets us up for some brilliant championships in the future.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you got Revox, Holmer. I mean, Buckley's doing bits tonight, looking really strong. Bostrom's got pace. Gavin Baker, we said. We've got Blomqvist, Shipston, Abhishek Jarv, you said. There are some really quick boys and girls in this race. And, look at the one tonight, Jamie. Wilkins is back up there again.
Yeah,
Hamill's up there again. It's literally anyone's guess every week, who's going to be in the top 3, because it changes all the time. Revox, Buckley and Holmer are the top 3 at the moment. And it's just different every single week, which is, just shows the strength and depth we have in this competition, which is fantastic to see. Right then, let's see what other battles we got going on here. Tam Hamill is in 5th place at the moment. I was hoping to see Bostrom a little bit closer, but he's a little bit further off. Bostrom was getting a little bit closer. It's actually Fliberty Gibbert, Jamie, who's just in behind him at the moment. There's Bostrom, and there's Baker actually coming back into it now. So Baker in 7th place has caught up Philip Bostrom a little bit closer. So he's got an opportunity here with 18 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was just going to answer Connie's question in the chat, actually, Brian, but you've sort of done it for me because Flibberty happened to be there, but out of position. So Flibberty, did he bin it, says Connie. I don't know if he binned it. He had to pit, which would have put him down several places.
Yeah.
But he is also down to 26, so it feels like that isn't just a pit because he was up in 9th. So I think he probably has had an issue, but we didn't see it anywhere. So he's slightly out of position, Ryan Flibberty, but he's actually on pace with Sam Hamill in 5th. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just watching Daniel Blomqvist and Tom Shipston going side by side into the corner there. Tyler Mullins just off them as well, but Daniel Blomqvist just about holds off Tom Shipston and Daniel. Yeah, Daniel Blomqvist shaking off those two, but Mullins is making the move on Shipston as well, just in behind. So we've got some great racing here, all up and down this grid, as ever. Mullins makes the move done, but we know he's been over-eager into a few corners tonight, so he needs to make sure he reins it in and keeps it going now. Yeah,
well, he executed that move brilliantly. He had the overspeed and he made it count, but he also hit the braking zone in enough time to stop. So yeah, what a battle this is of top races, right? Blomqvist, Mullins and Shipston. I mean, 3 brilliant races, all locked for battles for 8th, 9th and 10th. You can't believe it.
Exactly, yeah. Every point really does matter. Not only for points, but more importantly for pride. These racers do not want to give up, do they, Jamie? They want to keep going until literally they cannot race anymore.
I mean, yeah. And why would you want to do anything else, my friend? G. Baker, right? He's so close to Bostrom. He's so close to Bostrom, and they're both going to come. They're both trying to lap Flibberty. Moved across on Baker, and again Baker has to get out of it. And Flibberty wibbling and wobbling and flibberting and gibbeting all over the track there, Ryan. Baker is threading the back marker eyes like a needle, Ryan, and he's all the while trying to keep up pace with Bostrom. Baker has not given up on this championship, but now, Ryan, with 16 minutes to go, his main rival in 3rd place, he's in 7th. If he's going to make his move, Ryan, it's got to be now, I think.
Yeah, he's had a right old Ronan Keating tonight as Gavin Baker. This is very much a roller coaster for Gavin Bacon here at Monza. He's trying to keep up with pace here for Philip Bostrom, and I know, Jamie, you appreciated that one.
That was such a stretch. I was like, where is he going with this? But yeah, it's, it works. Give us a couple of lines from that song.
I can't, if I'm honest. No, I can't.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Bostrom, though, I mean, Bostrom, I feel like Holmer needs to buy Bostrom a beer after this race, Ryan. He is blocking Baker like an absolute champion, Ryan, and it's helping Holmer, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Bostrom making it very hard here for Gavin Baker to pass. We know Bostrom on his day has got pace. He's showing it again once here. And again, he's sort of been a silent assassin, Bostrom, in this championship so far, hasn't he? He doesn't sort of get loads of mentions on the stream, but he's always in amongst it. He's picked up, a decent amount of points throughout this championship. But as the championship has gone on, he's certainly almost got better, hasn't he?
Baker. Yeah, Baker just so close, Ryan. Taking so many risks, almost getting a tank slapper on there, but he's sort of got to take risks now, Ryan. He's got nothing to lose here. Holmer's sitting pretty, and 14 minutes. The clock is ticking away. Baker's got to make this move here, but Bostrom's going to get a bit of tow from Goodnight 11, the back marker in front as well here, Ryan. So that's another lap. Potentially Baker's going to lose to this battle, and every minute that ticks by, Holmer is sitting pretty, Ryan, and must be starting to feel pretty excited.
Yeah, must be, but he's got to try and hold on to it, Jamie. He can't get too excited just yet because one mistake, and I'm sure Gavin Baker will eat it right up. But at the moment, forget what's going on with Daniel Holmer. He's got a Philip Bostrom wall of defence.
Yes,
to try and get through here.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just check where Bostrom is in the overall standings.
He's about like 30th or 25th or something like that. He's way down because he had a disconnection last week.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so 0 point week. Yeah. Devastating.
But the first 2 races, he was slowly getting better. It was like 20 points, 30 points, and here we can clearly see his ability.
Absolutely. I mean, defending like a champ, like you said, and doing the Lord's work for Holmer, but Tuke hitting us and debris all over the track from Tuke's collision with the barrier there, it looked like, and they both got away with it. But look at this, Baker at this part of the track in sector 3 is so close to Bostrom, but he just cannot seem to find a way to hang on round the final bend to give him the run he needs on the home straight. And look at this chaos ahead, Ryan. What on earth is happening here? It's Tom Hamill, and he's going to gain a place on Tom Hamill. We got Roughneck one ahead of us as well. And who's that? That's Young, Steve Young. 2 cars out of position. They're blocking the track. He's side by side with Bostrom, Ryan. What the hell's going to happen here?
Oh no,
He's
I'm
going for it.
nervous. He's going for it. He's absolutely yeeted it up the inside. He's got the move done, but he's wishing the back marker to get out the way.
Oh.
He's absolutely sent it into that corner,
YOLO.
past Bostrom, past Hamill. But now he's got a back marker ahead of him.
Oh,
He's
wow.
absolutely YOLO'd it, ladies and gentlemen.
He's gained 2 places. He's cut that deficit to Holmer by 2 cars as he does the back marker. Oh, he's trying to. What's Young going to do here? Young's going to just go
He's
right.
gonna. Oh no!
And here's Tom Hamill's going to come round. Is Baker going to get a penalty? Let's see
Gotta
whether
be
he picks
careful.
up anything. It looks like he might have just got away with that, Ryan.
Oh, big smash at the side there, wowzers!
As Steve Young knocked out the way
Yeah,
by Tom
Tam
Hamill, it
Hamill
looked like there.
Getting a
Hamill bursting through.
That was certainly
Oh.
elbows out. That wasn't it? Wow.
So 9.5 seconds behind Holmer. He needs to just get 1 place ahead of Holmer, but he's made another mistake and Hamill's going to come back on him, Ryan. This is not the one he needs. Oh, no.
Deary me. He's going to come back though. He's
Here
going
he
to
is,
come
though.
back.
Of
Tam's
course he
giving
is.
him a little bit of a nudge. He's just
Bring
saying,
the
I'm here.
memory.
Let
Yes,
me
he's
letting
done
him
it.
know he's here, isn't he? The
Wow.
classic football
Go quick
football
back.
thing. Let him know you're here. Put one up him. Get him close. And Tam Hamill doing exactly that to let Gavin Baker know he's going to have to fight for every single metre of this track. But wow,
gotta go
what
for it,
racing here. Yeah, I mean, he has to, doesn't he?
All
He's got to go
systems
for it,
now,
yeah.
Nothing
go
left
for
on
it.
the line. There's no reason to be cautious now. Use every bit of fuel. Use all the tyres. Rip up that rubber, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hamill's right behind him though, and
He
he's
is.
looking very,
He
very
is.
racing. Very racing.
Oh.
Baker's got to stay calm here. He knows he's got position.
Oh, no!
No, he's slippy again, but he's going to tuck in behind Ryan. And is he going to pick up that toe, or has he lost too much traction? I think he's picked up the toe, Ryan. I think he might be okay here. Oh, it's so close. Is he going to have a dive bomb? I feel like he needs to.
God, I'm nervous.
I feel like he needs to, Ryan. He's gaining. Hamill's gone defensive. He's going to have to go the long way round. He's not going to. He's just a bit far back. He's going to try and muscle him round. He's got a chance here, Ryan. Oh, wow. And Ryan, whatever happens here in the championship, you have to say Baker and Holmer and Blomqvist have given us an absolutely fantastic start.
Talk about the top of the leaderboard, Jamie. Bad news for Gavin Baker. Tom Revox is down to 3rd place, and Daniel Homer gains a position up to 2nd. So forget what Gavin Baker's got to do. Daniel Homer's getting gifted positions left, right, and centre here, and he's now up to 2nd place, which gives James Buckley the overall lead, and he's absolutely going to be loving it after this race with all of his racing friends.
Oh, friends. I can't believe it. And Ryan, with that move done and Baker struggling in this battle with Hamill in 6th place, there's 9 minutes to go, Ryan, but I think this might be the first time I feel confident enough to call this championship.
Ooh, big statement from Jamie. He's
What do you reckon?
He's calling the championship with 9 minutes to go. I mean, yeah, we don't know what happened to Tom Revox because, he was basically sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboard, wasn't he? Yeah, cruising.
Big gap he had as well.
But as we were focused on Gavin Baker's trials and tribulations of Tam Hamill, I looked up just to see how Daniel Holm was getting on. All of a sudden, he's in 2nd place.
And Jay Buckley, I mean, what a turn up. That's a fantastic result for Buckley. Let's see. So his best finish was 36 points. So what's that, like 10th or something?
I mean, looking at the best lap times tonight, obviously Abazekjar 1:47.4, just stonkingly good.
I mean, yeah.
But to be fair to James Buckley, 1:48.9. There's obviously a few people in the 1:48.9s. Tam Hamill, Gavin Bacon's there. Most people in the 1:49s though. So to be fair to James Buckley, he is absolutely zoned in to this track and having a great race. But it has to be said, Daniel Holmer a second quicker on that last lap than James Buckley. I think the gap's too wide, but who knows?
Yeah, I think so. And to be honest, for Holmer, I'm sure he'd want to win the race, but he can win the title by just sitting here and conserving this position. So if I was him, certainly I wouldn't be doing any thing to risk spinning out, Ryan, as Baker and Hamill I'm watching here, just navigating through many more back markers. But wow, what a valiant effort from Baker. But I feel like this might be races done. Let's not forget, cast back to the very start of this race. It might have been lap 2, I think, Ryan, where Holmer was behind Baker and they were all bunched together coming down the home straight. Holmer misjudged the braking into the first corner and slammed into the side of Baker, completely unintentionally. But since then, it's been a battle for both of them to try and claw their way back. So I wonder whether Baker will be a little bit salty about that and think, maybe there's a chance. Maybe I could have won this one on merit without that incident.
Well, as we said at the time, it looked like Holmer came off a lot worse. He lost a lot more positions. Obviously, we're not sure on the damage front, of course, but since then, Daniel Holmer's had Lady Luck on his side and has carved his way through the entire grid, whether it's jumping people in the pits, whether it's people ahead of him, making errors. And Gavin Baker's luck has definitely turned for the worse from that time on, because he's been having all sorts of fun since. So that was such a pivotal moment in this championship, and it's worked out really well for one and not for the other. I was just on board with Philip Bostrom for a while there. He was trying to catch up Tom Shipston, but it looks like Mr. Shipston has got himself ahead now. But yes, Jamie, I mean, it's been a good night. It's been a good night. But
a fascinating battle, yeah.
We don't mention him hardly at all tonight, and he deserves some love here, as Tom Revox actually does drop another place down to 4th place now. We just saw Andy Wilkins go past him there, and Andy Wilkins again. We've hardly mentioned him, Jamie. But he's up to 3rd place.
Yeah, not a name we've spoken too much about. I mean, he is 7th in the championship. Last week was his best week by far in the sort of top 5 or 6. It looks like. But yeah, running a fantastic race tonight, and Revox clearly got damage from whatever incident he had that caused him to drop from first. Looks like he's going to miss out on the podium, which gives Wilkins the chance to get that first podium right. So yeah, excellent stuff.
Well, I wonder, 5 minutes to go, if Tom Revox keeps dropping, maybe Gavin Baker gains another position. I'm just sort of throwing it out there, Jamie. Come on.
I think his chance went with this battle with Hamill, unfortunately, and being stuck behind Bostrom for so long.
But if he gets past Hamill and Revox, though,
he needs to be past Holmer.
What? Definitely past Holmer to get the win. He has to.
Yeah, because he's 1 point behind.
He's 1 point behind
the race.
Okay, fair
enough.
enough.
Baker started the race 1 point behind Holmer in the standings here, so he has to beat him by 1 place to tie, which would then give him the win on the tiebreaker. So he has been in that position many times during the night. As we said, it's been back and forth, flipping around. But at the present, Ryan, with 4 or 5 minutes to go, it looks like Holmer's done enough.
Okay. Right, well, let's see perhaps what's going on up and down the rest of the grid, shall we? We're just on board with Ben Sisko again, who loves a battle tonight, doesn't he, Jamie? He loves getting stuck in this evening, and he's having one with Carl Gauvier at the moment. Gauvier all over the back of them as they go under the bridge there. But we've seen a couple of battles with Mr. Ben this evening. He was in 15th place earlier, dropped a couple of positions. Obviously, we saw that move get done earlier from Philip Barton, but he's got another battle in his hands to maintain 17th place.
Yeah, Carl Gauvier as well, another we've not really mentioned too much over this season. Wildcats Racing 2, so I'm guessing that's sort of their second team.
Yep.
As he makes the dive there, he's going to make that position stick, but Sisko maybe going to get a chance to come back in with the tow here. Yeah, great to see, as I mentioned earlier, Sisko not sure about carrying on, but he's jumped in with the support from his fellow racers, Ryan, and he's having his best race by a distance, I think, in the top half of the grid here. So fantastic performance from Sisko, and he's going to try and get this place back now. He cuts out very late there. He's been forced to go wide, and unless he's brave around the outside, he might struggle here, and he does in fact concede the place there.
That would have been a bit of a reach, I feel like, Jamie, to get that in. But,
yeah.
We've got another battle which will salivate the fans at home, Jamie. We're back on board with Liberty Gibbert. Liberty Gibbert fans, make yourself known, and he's doing his best at the moment to hold off the OG, old Roughneck One. Oh, it's not Roughneck One. What's going on with this bloody software?
Blomqvist, mate. That's Blomqvist. Yeah, so he's just lapping Liberty, mate. Don't worry. It happens to the best of them, doesn't it?
I think you know the little gap meter you get in these things. I think when it's like over
it's a nightmare.
over a minute, it's like, oh, it's a 1.5 second gap. Oh, but I forget to mention there's a whole minute as well. Like, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Revox now in the pits, Ryan, back down in 16, so
Whoa.
must have had some serious damage. Well, sorry, do that again properly.
Whoa.
No, you know what I mean. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, that is much better. Gavin Baker up to 4th place, Ryan. D. Holmer 2nd place. Wilkins between them. It's not just Wilkins, there's a lot of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of time.
There's 10 seconds between them, but Holmer must be feeling a bit nervous.
Gavin Baker's just spat it.
Maybe not then. I take that back.
Just spat it as you said that. Literally was going sideways
God.
as you were saying he's going to be on the march.
No,
here.
well, I
He's just
switched
sideways.
to Holmer by that point, so I didn't see that.
Sam Hamill's back
Baker. I mean, he's what you can say about Gavlar, Ryan, is he's given it his absolute best tonight, hasn't he? He's left nothing on the table, to be fair.
He can certainly leave this race with his head held high, knowing he has shredded every ounce of rubber from the tyres. He has pushed his vehicle to its limits, and of course, it's cost him a few times.
Sure.
He's had a few spins. He's had a few, turns they wouldn't have liked. Of course, he's had a few unfortunate incidents as well. But he has done everything he can to try and get back into this race. But yes.
Sorry, I'm just on with Legendary. He's just trying to go around the outside of Crimson for the pass, but there was a back marker as well when they've had a massive coming together, Ryan. And they're both in the barrier here.
Wow.
Trying to recover. Legendary trying to make the pass. Yeah, is it possible to get that right?
I'm back on now, but good, just back on the track. 17th place for Andrew Webb. Yeah, didn't obviously catch it, but yeah, not good scenes for those boys. Yeah, Tom Revox still in the pits, Jamie. He's obviously got some hellish damage going on down there, which is not good news.
He's going to finish in the pits, I fear.
Yeah, not good news for him at all.
But yeah, I mean, overall, Ryan, what a first championship. Very much a test season.
Oh, Gavin Baker's off again. Sorry, I had a little marker saying there was a close battle between him and Shipston. Go to him, and he's just in the gravel. So he's losing places left, right, and centre. Shipston's passed, Bostrom's passed, Blomqvist is passed. I mean, yes, it's done.
No Shake and Baker for Gavin tonight, Ryan.
Oh God! You can have that one.
NASCAR, I thought that was all right.
Yeah,
if we do NASCAR, I'll be loving that one. If he gets involved in the NASCAR season.
Shake and Baker. But with 18 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our leader tonight, James Buckley. What a race he's had. Come like a phoenix from the ashes up this leaderboard, 13th place in the overall championship. He's had a solid season, it has to be said. Picked up a very consistent amount of points. But tonight he's going to get the maximum, and what a race he's had, Jamie.
Devastatingly for him, he crossed the line like 0.01 seconds before the race timer ended, which means he has to do another lap. If he'd literally just let off the throttle for a second, he would have been done by now. But there we go. Maybe he's just enjoying it so much, Ryan. This Jensen Team Rocket RJN driver, James Buckley. Yeah, I mean, what a result for him. It's fantastic.
I mean, certainly going into the next season, season 2, assuming he's signing up again, what a confidence builder this is. To know he's got the ability now to win races in this field of excellent drivers. And he'll be thinking, season 2's maybe his season if he can continue with this vein of form.
Oh, okay, yeah, big talk. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Ryan. But yeah, fantastic race for Buckley. But you have to say, Holmer recovered. He's recovered well from the very dramatic opening to this title battle. And he's managed to claw it back up to second with a very consistent drive following that, Ryan. And then another, I wouldn't not necessarily say surprise, but perhaps slightly unexpected podium position for Wilkins here, Ryan. Another fantastic drive.
Yeah, I mean, last week, gained a solid amount of points, his best week, and he's put, that result to shame. He's gone one better, and he's going to grab himself a podium position tonight. 7th place in the overall championships, and he'll be certain to jump up a few positions, I believe, after tonight's race. I mean, G squared, Jamie, did you realise he was in 6th place in the overall championship?
G Squared's a good racer, mate.
Yeah.
That's why he's got a special nickname. Yeah, he's I think he's at the race tonight, though, is he?
Yeah, I can't see him
see him.
anymore.
I think he
So
might have.
hence why I'm
No.
saying that Andy Wilkins is going to shoot up a couple of positions.
Yes,
He's
indeed.
also
indeed.
going to jump ahead of Tom Revox as well. He should jump ahead of Daniel Joy, just I think 12 points.
Good battle at the end here, right, with
Not quite,
Crimson
not quite.
and Webb in 17th and 18th.
Why
Following
is-
that coming together, they had. Go
Why
on.
is Daniel Holmer now in third position?
I don't know. Wilkins has gone straight on, hasn't he?
Any ideas, anybody? Did we miss him spinning out there while we were just looking at the leaderboards and he's lost a
I don't
position? Or...
think. I mean, Wilkins is blasted by.
Oh!
Anyway, either way, he's done enough to win. What's going on with his car now?
Yeah.
He's done enough to win the title, Ryan, and that's the main thing. But wow,
Why is
what a
he
championship,
third,
mate.
though? Strange.
Tom Hamilton, they're all just
Anyway,
smashed
Jimmy
up
said in the
inside
chat he's going to update the standings in the Discord after the race, so we'll be keen to see how those standings shape themselves out, and we'll see if we can give Jimmy the heads up if we need to get a good feeling for what's going on overall.
Oh,
Go on.
Backmarker took him out in a Ascari. Oh, so maybe he did have an issue, Homer, right at the death there. And Wilkins did steal second place. Okay, fantastic for Wilkins then. Again, I don't think Holmer will care too much considering he's just won the first ever NoobGamerz ACC championship, right?
Well, there we go. Jimmy needs the session to move on so we can confirm the points at the moment. So we'll look after that. But yeah, not good news. Although he, as you said, doesn't really matter. It gives Andy Wilkins an extra point for his troubles tonight.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're just focused on him at the moment.
He's loving it, look.
But, commiserations, it has to be said, to Gavin Baker. But the session has ended. And let's go through these final positions as we return to the garage. And here we go. Tonight's final positions for the final race of the championship finish like this. We've got James Buckley in first, Andy Wilkins second, and Daniel Holmer making the top three positions in this evening's race. Tam Hamill, Philip Bostrom, Tom Shipston and Daniel Blomqvist just ahead of Tyler Mullins, Gavin Baker and Mike Tucker for the top 10 tonight. We've got Joy, Evans, Barton, Govier, Cisco, Cowie, Webb, Crinson, Rowe and 11 for the next positions down to 20th before Flibber to Give It kicks us off in 21st ahead of Blanchard, Roughneck 1, McDonald, Prescott, Annis, Young, Younger, Foster and Morga. And beyond those boys and girls, we got Peter Van Innis, Tom Revox, who ended up in 32nd place, Campbell, Took, Long, Jaru, of course, fell foul of another disconnection, as well as Higgins, Corso, Omar, G Squared and Jimmy H, who didn't finish the race overall. But as a reminder, we've got Mr. Buckley, Wilkins and Holmer, Jamie, to hopefully get their live reaction from the VIP bar back in the NoobGamerz studios. Let's get there now, and hopefully it will give Jimmy a chance to confirm the overall points. Here we go then. Oh, had to run down here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I just about made it into the NoobGamerz bar. Jamie, I mean, what a race we had tonight to finish off this season.
Yeah, brilliant finale, actually, which is, always what we're hoping for, isn't it, in these final championship rounds? And we were definitely served a treat. There was drama all the way through. Positions and the title flipping back and forth multiple times between three drivers. But ultimately, it's the guy who started the night 1 point clear. He's going to end it with his hands on the cup. It's D. Holmer. And actually, interesting, right, he's also the only guy that I can have in Discord for you to have a little chat with.
Oh, well, there we go. So you should be coming live into the studio now. Third place, Daniel Holmer tonight in tonight's race. However, although it's not been officially confirmed, we are aware of him winning the inaugural NoobGamerz Championship. So here he is live into the NoobGamerz studio. His reaction for the very first time on tonight's championship win. Daniel Holmer, how do you feel after that?
Yeah. I'm struggling.
Oh, your Discord's struggling. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We can just about hear you coming through, but hopefully we can continue. How did you find that race first and foremost?
Yeah, I did a blunder in T1 on lap 2 or 3, I think, and jumping over some cars. Uh, I did struggle. The Aston is so slow out of the slow corners, so I just keep my head down and try not to do any mistakes.
Yeah, it was a dramatic race for sure, and you had the big hit. I think it was with Gavin Baker, who obviously was your main rival, but
Hmm.
you both got knocked back. You seemed to get knocked back more, but you recovered well. I mean, just talk us through what happened at the end there, because you seemed to lose second right at the end there.
Yeah, I did go on the inside on the back marker, and I think he didn't see me coming on the inside, and he hit me. I hit the wall. Yeah, that's some damage with P3.
Well, luckily, it didn't matter for the overall championship. Of course, you are now sitting pretty at the top of that championship. Coming into our first season of ACC, your first season with the NoobGamerz. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you were thinking, yeah, I'm going to win this, right?
No, I didn't.
What were your
Boom.
expectations going into this season then?
Yeah, I didn't have an expectation. I just in the learning by ACC and joining leagues and daily races as often as I could, just to learn the game.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's worked out brilliantly.
yeah.
Will you be
Thank you.
back joining us for season 2?
I hope so. Yeah,
Great, great news. Well done. Congratulations on the
thank you.
championship win, and there'll be a couple of little prizes for you, I believe, even Ryan, won't there?
I believe so, yeah. I'm sure Jimmy H will confirm everything in the Discord after this race, but we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Well done on tonight's race and the overall championship, and hopefully we'll be seeing you out on track again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Your season champion for our very first ACC season, Daniel Holmer. Certainly, Jamie, very humble with what he's going on.
Absolutely.
Still learning the game. Wasn't expecting it, but he's driven excellently, nice and consistent throughout the championship, and brought home the win.
He has, absolutely, yeah, fantastic. You have to say he went under the radar a little bit, perhaps, didn't he, in the first couple of rounds, but he was so consistent, and he's brought it home tonight, and wow. Consistency wins the title, and there we go. We've seen it. I mean, there's quite exciting in the Discord, Ryan. If you want to jump in and see some of the aftermath, let me put the thing in. There's accusations being thrown around in ACC chat. Gavin Baker, I'll just read one line from you, Ryan.
Cool.
He's just cost me a championship. Ooh. That's all I'll read. That's all I'll leave. So if you want to jump, if you want to get involved in that drama, throw your own fire on the flames. I'm joking. But if you do want to get involved in the racing or just the community, jump on the Discord link there, please. And I mean, you can see how fun it was tonight. Surely, right? Why wouldn't you want to be involved in this?
Exactly. Just to remind me, Jay, how many people have got in the Discord these days?
Probably just under 1,000, I think, still for the last 17 years. I think.
Okay, good. Anyway, that's it for the racing, ladies and gentlemen. But there's still one question which is on all of our lips, and that is who's going to be tonight's driver of the day. And to find out, we're going to head down and dirty to the NoobGamerz Disco, get our freak on as Jamie considers his options. Let's go, people. Come on, people. That was a good one, wasn't it? Oh, there is excitement again, once again, in the NoobGamerz Disco. The people behind me going absolutely crazy after tonight's scenes out there on the track. We had ups, we had downs, but we all came out smiling, didn't we, Jamie?
I think so, mate. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. Are you going to ask me the question, or?
Of course, Jamie. As ever, there's one question which we like to ask you as we close out the stream, and that is, Jamie, who's tonight's driver of the day?
Yeah, so I mean, we need to try and detach ourselves from the wider championship battle, don't we? So we just take tonight's race, Ryan.
Yep.
How could I look beyond the top two? Both getting their first podiums. Fantastic race for Buckley and Wilkins. Hard to pick between them, but just based on the fact that Buckley's pipped him and taken the victory, I'm going to have to go for Buckley. His first Noobs win and a fantastic drive.
There you go. He's added to his race win this evening with his first driver of the day, as awarded as ever by our very own Jamie here tonight. So well done to James Buckley on taking maximum points and maximum respect from the greatest co-commentator in sim racing history. And if you want to see more from this fantastic pair of co-commentators, you know, me and Jamie, we're the greatest racing commentators you will ever see. I'm just trying to like build us up as being amazing, so hopefully people come back again. Yeah,
Cool.
Is it working?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, won't we?
We will. We'll find out again on Thursday as me and Jamie will be back 8 PM. And Jamie, the final race of the Project Cars 2 season 20, is it now? And it's the final race. We've got another title to give away on Thursday, and we know these touring cars have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's so good. They're such good fun, and we've had crazy weather thrown into the mix as well. I think we got some rain coming up on Thursday as well. It's going to be fantastic, right? Do not miss it.
Indeed. You know, join us once again on Thursday 8 PM. But for now, your Monday night entertainment's all done and dusted. A big thank you to everyone who joined us tonight, whether you chatted, subscribed, followed, or simply sat back and enjoyed the action. We really do appreciate every single one of you getting involved in our lowly little channel here at the NoobGamerz. But without you, we'd probably still be doing it anyway, because we have a good time, don't we, Jamie?
Oh, I mean, bloody hell, yeah, we do.
But anyway, have a fantastic week, everyone. Keep safe, keep healthy, and we'll see you on Thursday for another evening of racing. Jamie, once again, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you, sir.
No problem. Peace out, everyone. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Goes in between two cars and overtakes. Unbelievable manoeuvre from Seb. Side smoke galore at the front. Oh, what's going to happen here? The back. Looks like Mr. Brisket and Don Teacher are both making early. Oh no! He's going for it. Where's he going to appear?
Very best, very best.
Anyway, as the community... It always turns to shambles. When our specials talking to shambles, oh my days! And that looks, I'm gonna call this early doors. That looked like a takeout. Oh no, Spoon! Oh no! Oh! No, this ain't a ball, please. Oh! Wow! 123.9. Oh no, there's a late winner! He's that! Well, Spoon, out of nowhere. Six was out there, one in minutes. Oh, what a rubbish track we joined that was! What a move! Is he going to make it stick though? Tough corner to make it stick on. Is he going to go around the outside? Unbelievable! Oh! Wow, wow, wow.
Fantastic move.